Bye bye bye. Today I'm playing Half-Life Blue Shift again. So yes, last time that we played, got to this shipping yard, I think they call it, and I destroyed a tank and killed a load of soldiers. Unfortunately, in my last video, I also suffered my first death of the playthrough. And because of that, time to punish these soldiers by destroying their corpses and making a bloody mess all over this asphalt. If that's what they call this stony floor, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. In this day and age, and I seem to be full on just about all supplies except for rockets, since I was, I was destroying the tank with rockets last time I played. So this is the loading dock and the freight warehouse access, eh? Intriguing trees, Batman, if I do say so myself. Now there was an extra rocket for us there. Can't read the crates, can we, eh? The definition isn't quite large enough for us to do that, it would seem. And we can cower under the truck and wait for rescue if we're that timorous kind of person, but I'm not going to do that. I wonder where the spray paint showed up on the truck, by the way. Seems like it must have sprayed on somewhere within the internal workings of the truck where we can't see it, doesn't it? It's a shame, but what can you do in this day and age, Sonny Jim, eh? So, the railroad yard and the turntable access are nearby, eh? Makes you wonder how this place can have train tracks, even though it's such a small area, this yard. I mean, they obviously wouldn't be able to go fast, would they? And I'd be nervous about the prospect of them derailing and crashing into the buildings, the trains, if they were travelling at speed in this. Well, isn't that amazing how breaking that box seems to automatically break open a hole in this shipping container here, eh? And we did get some revolver ammo out of this shipping container here, so there's something good that arose from that highly destructive endeavour, isn't it? Anything here? No, it would seem we just have a flat black barrier here, which is intended to convey the illusion that this tunnel has impenetrable blackness through it. Presumably the game makers don't intend for us to crouch here, which is why this part of the train's mechanisms of conveyance are all flat and boxy at this end as well, compared to how they look more rounded here, eh? Yes, in case you haven't figured it out by... so funny, doesn't it? Yes, well, this is supposed to be impenetrable darkness beyond the tunnel, and yet we can spray paint our spray painted text on it like it's a black surface here. Quite amusing indeed, eh, baby dolls? Bet you've never known anyone who plays video games like me, have you, eh, viewers at home? With my highly analytical nature. with how I study the games and whatnot, and believe you me, if I was doing this not in video, I'd be a whole lot I'd be a whole lot slower and a whole lot more in depth with this. With the studying of the game's graphics and the study of all the nooks and crannies that we're seeing here at the moment, and I can't seem to venture further into this tunnel. Yes, it's unfortunate, but let's collect our supplies nonetheless, our rockets here. By the way, I wonder if the fire from the tank will actually hurt me, because I know that steam from the Jeep hurts me. This is probably a stupid thing to do. Yes, it was a stupid thing to do indeed. But as I've said before, well, it still hurts me if you never jump over it. I call cheesy shenanigans with that, my son, my old son. Anyway, what's in these boxes, eh? I saw a syringe come flying out of it just then. You know, with how we were able to create a hole in that blue shipping container over there, I wonder if it's going to be symmetrical with the secrets here, and if we'll be able to blow a hole in that with a satchel charge. I don't think it did. No, it didn't. It was worth a try, though, wasn't it, Sonny Jim? Anyway, let's proceed into the maintenance access now that we've wasted enough time out here talking about minor details within the game's graphical design and whatnot. Yes, I dare say we should press on. Right, have I collected all these? Yes, I have. My memory sometimes seems to be taking something of a deteriorating turn with my OCD at times, I think, even though I'm managing to get it better right now. Hopefully my memory will recover with time, as well, Sonny Jim? It's all we can hope for, and hope can be a powerful weapon in this day and age, when everything seems negative and unfortunate. What's that humming I can hear? That humming in the background? That the word is escaping me right now. That ambient hum, that's the word, ambient. High voltage, eh? There's a moth flying in front of my face as well. Get out of the way. Yes. We can't fry ourselves here, even though this is a high voltage generator room, it would seem. Can we destroy it? Probably wouldn't be a bright idea to whack it with a crowbar trying to destroy it, would it? Since it'd be liable to potentially explode in our faces and make me look prettier. Since it'd no doubt give me an innovative hairstyle if something exploded in my face. Maintenance area, eh? A little bird tells me we should have our shotgun out here and turn our flashlight off to make us less visible. And I still managed to take a hit point off me, that turret. So presumably this doorway will lead to that freight yard we were in before, eh? Say I'm incredibly astute with my observations, aren't I? As I play video games. Anything under this freight, I wonder? Since obviously I'm learning now that these aren't trains or train carriages, but freights, aren't they? According to the jargon of shipping professionals in the shipping industry. And it would seem there's lots of disciplines involved in the Black Mesa workplace. And even though I should play realistically and in an immersive fashion, I just want to show you how we can't actually be hurt by these explosive looking crates. So we can blow them up in a rather humorous fashion like that, can't we? And now it's time for some sniping, isn't it, with our revolver here, because there's going to be soldiers out here. Need to focus. Couldn't see me cross her, and just like that I've lost all of my suit power. I didn't even see that grenade go flying from that sergeant there. Let's see if we can make the shot. Oh, that was a headshot, surely. Oh yeah, this is cheating like mad, this game. Still, at least I got the headshot there. Oh, that was definitely a headshot for sure. That's a shotgun there, so we need to be careful. Oh, he's hitting me, but he isn't going to be doing much damage from the distance with a shotgun, is he? So that's fortunate. Yes, this is kind of cheap, the way I'm playing, isn't it? Getting these headshots against the soldiers from a distance with the handgun where they can't really hit me very well, very efficiently, with much efficacy, as I suppose you could say in this day and age. And that's rather high, where we've spray painted that security checkpoint area 9 text, isn't it? And now it's time for a Power Rangers like leap as we leap out of this hole. Hiya! Yes. Go, Power Ranger Barney Calhoun. Freight car storage yard access, eh? And railroad yard toll engine bay 5. There's lots of rather complex and intricate sounding aspects to this freight yard here in this freight warehouse, of which only authorized personnel are welcome, it would seem. And so this seems like the kind of controls, the turntable controls. Unfortunately, we can fill up on our armor here, thanks to supplies from this Barney clone here, who's unfortunately been killed by the soldiers who were once here before I eliminated them all. Like the skilled agent provocateur I am. And if you get that reference, you get an official thumbs up from me, baby dolls. Yes, sir, you do. New Mexico Railroad Line access tunnel. So, if we could open this shutter and we can't, does that mean we'd get to, we'd have nothing but a great outdoor scene ahead of us by which we could escape the facility along this train line into the great outdoors, where we'd be free as a bird, escaping the facility? Yes, to think that this shutter is the only thing standing between us and freedom, pretty much, and we can't open it. So close yet so far, baby dolls. Isn't that just the epitome of frustration in this day and age? Yes. Since we're full on the 40mm killer grenades, we can't collect these. Unfortunately, they don't blow up when we strike them with blunt force. And I'm making Judson Gaydon proud by saying 40mm killer, just like he does in his in his Chernobyl Shadows of Stalker or whatever videos that he does, when he says things like that, feeling just slightly nauseous. Just a slight feeling in my stomach, just not feeling like I could be sick, just the slightest of feelings in my stomach. And I wonder what could be in here, underneath this particular carriage. Nothing that I can see. So let's see what's in the boxes, eh? These wooden ones, to be precise. Since we can't break the metal ones, can we? But we will get to break them when all is said and done, and you'll see why momentarily, baby dolls, won't you? Because I know what's coming, and you may not, old son. They've got more health now, and now we're full on health, as a matter of fact. Nothing down here. There's lots of wooden boxes with tarpaulin on them here, isn't there? Don't know why they need tarpaulin when they're under this roof here. Plus, you wouldn't imagine this kind of place in New Mexico would get much rain, would you really? Sure as lack of rain, you could say. As Johnson Nash in Fallout New Vegas would say. This trailer can't open, it'd appear. This freight, rather. Freight, is the word freight just applied? Is the word trailer just applied to the carriages that go on the back of trucks, maybe? So that'd mean freight. So presumably freights can't be the things that go on the back of trucks, but presumably freight just strictly applies to the carriages that go on the back of trains, maybe. Who's to say in this day and age, eh? It's a shame to break that residual little bit of glass, but if the glass ever gets repaired in full, the workmen will probably destroy those remaining fragments anyway, wouldn't they? So yes, let's open the bay, eh? And see what's in here.
Hello! I'm in here! Can anyone hear me?
That scientist has a different voice, doesn't he?
Hello!
Could this
I'm in
mean
here.
something?
Can anyone hear me?
Could this be,
Hello! I'm in here.
an important realization to ponder here as we play? Anyway, it'd make sense to drive him out into the great outdoors, wouldn't it? But how we can't really conveniently open his carriage here, so let's try that. Be patient, Doctor. We can't press the button to drive it out though, so what do you say we turn the turntable, eh? After all, it wouldn't have turn in its name if it couldn't turn, would it, eh, baby dolls? Yes. And so now it lives up to its name by turning, doesn't it? Yes. Why, that incident of the turntable turning would have been good footage for the music video of the song Turn by Travis, wouldn't it, eh, Sonny Jim? Watch this now. Remember how I said these boxes were going to be destroyed here? These metallic ones here? Well, now it happens, doesn't it, eh, Sonny Jim? Yes, here we are now. It's him.
Got that bastard. What's the status on Freeman?
Yes, I'm Dr. Rosenberg. although I'm not very proud to admit it, seeing as though I'm partially responsible for all of this. How did you know my name?
I saw you in the
see.
training.
Oh, Harold. Yes, our plan was to get to one of the old prototype labs. It involved something that very few people in the facility are authorized to know about. The same technology that brought about this catastrophe could also be our only way out. You see, I was involved in the very early work on teleporter technology, long before the Lambda complex was even built. There may be enough equipment in the old lab to piece together a device that would allow us to teleport outside of the facility. As improbable as that may sound to someone like yourself. Of course, none of that does a whole lot of good while we're stuck in here. Perhaps I could help boost you through that vent in the ceiling. If you're lucky, you might be able to take those soldiers by surprise. Let's try this.
Yes, sir. There we go. Anyone else out here? There is. That takes care of him. Now we got a shotgunner at distance from us. Can't really very effectively hit us from the distance though, can he? And we can kill him. So, that takes care of matters out
there. We'll need to
there.
head back to the area where you met Harold. The access to the old lab should still be there, but we may have to break through some of the newer construction to get to it. Let's get going.
You know, I did see little thin wooden boards when I was underground in the basement earlier. Speaking of wooden boards,
I need to rest a bit before I could go on.
I wonder if this'll break. Funny how this top part of the wooden board sounds metallic, but this lower part sounds wooden, isn't it? And yes, good old Dr. Rosenberg, with his constant talk of being tired and needing rest,
we'll have a better chance if we stick together.
Is often a point of contention and frustration to Let's Players of this game. So be prepared for it in case he nags us in that manner as well. By the way, I wonder if we can move this train back inside.
Wake up, Calhoun. I'm afraid I need to rest.
No, it's a scene we can't. I was wondering how well he'd be able to rest with me standing on his...
There's no time to wait.
But let's not bother with such trivialities in this rather dire situation, eh? After all, we've got work to do, haven't we, Scooby-Doo? Yes, sirree, Bob, we have. So, without further ado, let's get to it, eh? Say, with how this door's open now, I wonder if those soldiers who accosted us came out of it. From the freight warehouse, it'd appear. Oh, unless that was the freight warehouse we were out in just then, eh? Through another loading screen. Where's he gone? And there's more soldiers around here for us to have to worry about. Stop going up without me, that's a bit reckless. Good old Doc Rosenberg. So this is a different staircase as it's shorter, it'd appear.
Lead the way, Calhoun.
Yes, sir. Shipping, receiving, eh? Wonder what could be out here. Danger is what is out here in the form of a shotgunner. Oh, there's another soldier. He just got a face full of bullets from me, though, didn't he, for shocking me in that rather inconsiderate manner just now. There's some kind of a timetable on the desk. It's tough to say in this day and age of low-definition textual images, isn't it? Oh, that shotgunner's blood is on this light. To be hoped it doesn't short out the next time someone tries to use it, isn't it? Wonder if this is another destructible chair, which I like destroying these chairs. It's very satisfying after all. And I wonder if these books are destructible. Oh, there's dustbin for that matter, but it would seem not. A dustbin that doesn't actually have a hollowed out middle section, it would appear. Quite a curious phenomenon indeed, Sonny Jim. And the books appear to be made out of metal as well. Is the clock destructible? Guess not. And this is quite an innovative chessboard floor that these officers have in the corridors. Even though it's a chessboard type of floor, it makes me think this might be this place might be somewhere near the office complex chapter of the main Half-Life game, the second action-packed chapter that Gordon Freeman had to fight through. Let's have a drink. I don't think this gives us health, does it? Maybe this is just like supposed to be a hand-washing station rather than a drinking station. We can't get on top of it to drink out of it though, so never mind. More chairs to be destroyed. By the end of the day, Black Mesa isn't going to have any more sitting spaces, is it? After I'm done with my chair-breaking shenanigans here. But then again, at the end of the day, Black Mesa isn't even going to be a thing anymore. It's going to be nothing more than a crater in the earth, you could say. It's a sad fate. Yeah, there's no more destructible books, is there? Unlike in the main game, on the office complex chapter had destructible bookshelves and books for that matter. Okay, I wonder if this glass in the door's breakable. No, it isn't. Just think if all the glass in this game was indestructible, then the scientists would have been safe as houses, wouldn't they?
I'll be right behind you.
Okay, let's go. Get those legs moving, old man. Oh look, another helmet for me to wear to better protect myself. This is a very soft sounding but still indestructible corpse, isn't it? Another drinking machine to refill our health up very slowly. Fortunately, all we needed was that a baby's dummy? No, it was an apple core, wasn't it? Yes, so let's head off then. Into shipping receiving we go now. And the freight records, please. I'm curious if this glass will be destructible or not. No, it's not. Chairs are, though. We were in this room before, weren't we? In a previous part with this tiny vent. So it makes you wonder why people moved chairs in here while I was gone, doesn't it? Because can't really imagine many people needing to take a seat in these rather panic-inducing times, can you? Curiouser and curiouser, I say. Can these books be broken? No, guess not. I can hear more firefighting outside, scary enough. Talk about a stressful environment.
I need to take a break.
And by the way,
All right, let's stick together.
remember in a previous video when I said to remember that window, that broken window that I came up through from outside? when that soldier broke it and tried to kill me. The window by these stairs here that we came through in an even earlier part. Although I said presumably we'd end up on this top floor in the end where the freight records are kept. Well, now here we are on this same staircase where I fought all those soldiers and made them spit out their tomato soup all over the walls. Yes, this isn't a woman suffering the ravages of cooties who was coming down these stairs, making stains all over the walls. This is where soldiers were rather messily eating their tomato soup and losing it from their mouths as I was shooting them to death, unfortunately. But, looks like some of the blood's been cleaned away, though, doesn't it?
Lead the way, Calhoun.
Indeed, it's quite heartwarming to think that in between the bouts of combat in this place, the janitors and...
Yes, here it is. We'll need to break through this to get to the elevator. We should have chosen the Lambda reactor for an escape, but the crew there is bent on fighting the creatures, with all their hopes set on someone named Freeman. Let those fools try and fight a battle they can't win. I just want to get out of here.
This is very deceptive of you scientific elites, isn't it? I mean, this secret laboratory, buried in the walls, pretty much. Wonder if there's anything else hidden behind these wooden sheets, eh? Do you want to go and see Harold's body before we leave?
Yes, let's go.
It's over here.
Slow down, Calhoun. I can't keep up at this pace. All right, let's hope we don't... Hold on, Calhoun. You'll have to slow down a bit.
Maybe, I'm starting to think maybe he can't come through here.
Let's go.
Oh, he can. Say, this was...
Calhoun. I need to take a break.
This was
All
Harold.
Right. You won't even know I'm here.
This was Harold in here, unfortunately.
Wait up, Calhoun. I'm afraid I need to rest.
Yes, you don't have anything to say about him, do you?
Slow down, Calhoun. I can't keep up at this pace.
Do you have any problems with me breaking Harold's corpse? Even though it seemed he didn't necessarily have much blood left in him, sadly. I wasn't hitting you accidentally then, was I, when I was hitting Harold's corpse? Seems like it might have been, though he seems in a perpetual state of fear. Oh, maybe not, though. Maybe he was just reacting to me. Maybe he was just reacting to me hitting the corpse.
Right. You won't even know I'm here.
Or banging the crowbar on the hard surfaces in that room. I'm sure this fascinates you to know, Doctor, but when I was on my when I was
rest a bit before I could go on.
When I was about to battle the first soldiers, I came out of this vent into this place. That was a while before I rescued you. I'm sure you're interested to know all this lore about my adventure into this place, aren't you? Can't you tell I'm a lonely old security guard, eh? Come on, let's go.
Let's stick together.
Brian Ferry would be proud of us sticking together. He made a song about it once.
Hold on, Calhoun. You'll have to slow down a bit.
Many yonks ago, and this is where I got some armour and supplies from a Barney clone who had tragically died. You find that very sad too, don't you, I'm sure, Doctor?
Let's get going.
Yes. He's not one for dawdling, that's Dr. Rosenberg, is he? You know what I've thought sometimes, baby dolls?
Hold on, Calhoun. I need to take a break.
Seems we're going to need to guide him gently and And slowly but surely into the doorway, doesn't it? In you go, old man. Come on. Get in.
Lead the way, Calhoun. Slow down, Calhoun. I can't keep up at this pace.
Come on. In you go now. You can do it. Come on. Yes, let's have a round of applause. Let's have a round of applause
Yes, we'll have a
for
better
him.
chance if we stick together.
Without I botched a saying round of applause there, it makes me think of when I used to be at
Wait up, Calhoun. I'm afraid I need to rest.
Section A17 prototype labs, eh? Security access required. Well, you don't strike me as a security guard.
Let's go.
Yeah, when I used to be at primary school, and at assemblies when kids would be awarded or something, and the headmaster used to say, let's have a round of applause for the kids. As a kid, I used to think he was saying, let's have a round on the floors. It wasn't until my dad corrected me that I learned the truth of the matter. Let's
I may
go.
be slowing you down, but you'll need me to get into the lab.
No, I want you to come with me.
Let's hurry. There's no time to waste.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do
I
it,
need
as
to
the
rest a bit
Ninja
before I can go
Turtles
on.
would say. Come on.
I'll be right behind you.
We obviously can't get into these high vents, can we? But we can't hide in them either. For when the going gets tough, and when more soldiers show up that I might necessarily be able to handle, in the manly art of combat
Hold on, Calhoun. You'll have to slow down a bit.
and self-defense. Yeah, as if you'd be able to get up here anyway, Rosie boy. And now I'm up here on the light fixture. Don't you wish you was as agile and nimble as me? Why, I could almost be a circus performer, I do so feel in this day and age. Can't get onto his head though, unfortunately. I didn't quite have the leverage to get onto his head from that position.
All right. Let's hope we don't run into any more of those soldiers. Well, I hope the old security system is still active. With any luck, my fingerprint ID is still valid and on file.
To be up so. Otherwise, we'd just have to stand outside here and wait for the end of time, wouldn't we? More ammo and guns here we have in the security office. And also armor and helmets, but since I only need 9 more hit points, let's see if I can get a helmet rather than a vest, even though it doesn't really matter. Yes, I got that helmet, even though I was trying to get this one. How considerate of the game to make that so. Can I shut myself out? No. And notice how these health stations and armor stations are very big and bulky compared to ones that we've seen in the past. That really informs you and makes it evident that we're going into an older part of the facility now, just like Rosie Boy says, doesn't it? With how things tend to get slower. With how things tend to get smaller, the more technologically advanced they are and whatnot. Anyway, in we go now.
Dr. Rosenberg, thank God you made it. We've managed to piece together some of the larger equipment, but you'll need to oversee the rest of the construction.
Excellent, Walter. Finish aligning the power cell matrix, and I'll see if I can get the system online in the main room. Now, there's no time to waste.
Yes, sir. Why do you run everywhere?
Well, looks like the equipment is in better shape than I expected. Unfortunately, this older technology does not have the ability to target an Earth destination in its current state. You see, Mr. Calhoun, teleportation isn't as easy as going from point A to point B. We've discovered a strange border world that was somehow involved in the process, which kept us from accurately predicting where any given teleportation event would lead to back on Earth. Some of the more promising research on the matter led to a device that could be attached to the strange crystalline structures we found on this border world. Now, this device could then be used as a focal point and a relay to aid in the teleportation. Well, in theory, that is. We lost contact with the survey group shortly after the device was in place. We later discovered other methods of aiming the fields, but all of the equipment in this lab uses the older technology. In order for any of us to get out of here alive, someone will have to go to the border world and activate the device. I'm afraid you're the only one who can do this, seeing as how everyone else will be needed to operate the equipment. We should be able to get you fairly close to where the survey team had set up, but I fear the likelihood of running into alien creatures is very high. Once you find the device, simply power it on and align the emitters until the signal reaches maximum strength. We'll reopen the teleporter for your return once we receive the signal, but you must hurry back, as we can only keep it open for a short amount of time. All right, I'm going to initiate the teleporter charging sequence now. Be ready, Mr. Calhoun. Once the field is open, it will become unstable very quickly. Simmons, can you hear me? It's ready.
And this control station is sponsored by Chris Rea, the singing superstar of the 80s, baby dolls. This is the progress bar for the teleporter warming up. Just in case you were wondering, Sonny Jim. Are we getting high up now?
Almost there. The primary capacitors have reached full charge. Simmons, release the damping locks and open the field. The field, it's open. Calhoun, enter the teleporter.
We're going to do that next time, baby dolls. So let's save our game. And I'll see you next time. Leaving you on this cliffhanger. Which I'm sure has you all on the edge of your seats, baby dolls. So until next time, goodbye. Goodbye.